Hello, beautiful souls. So you are trying so hard to stay in this present moment right here, right now. And your mind just keeps wandering off into the what ifs of worry and fear, or even plans of the future, or how you have to do something just later that day, or the creation of all humanity. Our minds will run a mile a minute in every direction. And I know this because it happens to me too, or used to a lot more. So what did I do to change that? Because I'll tell you, when your mind is going like that, you feel like you're being so productive because you're so worried, but you actually put like a bubble around yourself that you don't even see the world. You are just so focused on the future. And you're not experiencing the world. And as we know, that's why we're here, for the evolution of our own consciousness, of our own soul. So if we are constantly in this bubble of the to-dos and the what-ifs, we're not doing anything for the true self, the soul, right? We're not evolving. We're not getting a higher consciousness. We are not at peace. We're not contentful. We are not happy. We are not even achieving like we want to achieve. So how do we change this? Okay, I've got one way that really worked for me and I'd like to share it. And I like to hear your comments too. Please, if you have ways that have worked for you, comment below. I love that. And this way because I don't like anything that's harsh for me. Because I won't do it. I'm being quite honest. It's just not my style. And I don't like, and I don't like rules. So with that, what do? I mean, I'm telling you right now that thing about just saying, oh, just stop doing it. No, there's no way. That's too hard. But I have quite a few actually different exercises, but the one that's my favorite and is the most fun, I'm going to share with you right here, right now. So I call it keeping it sacred. Okay. What do I mean by that? My moments. I keep my moments sacred, such as going for a walk. I go for a walk in the woods. I go for a walk in the nature preserve, somewhere where I can get engrossed with the wonderful feeling of nature and feel the breeze and just get myself into feeling where I am and watching where I am and getting into the mode of the place that I am. And I have this as my goal. It doesn't just happen, especially if your mind is so busy. And if my mind wanders, I just bring it back to a flower, a tree. I'll start talking to a tree. I will consciously keep myself in that sacred moment. And I'm always looking for a place where I can do, if it's warm enough, to do a meditation. And I'll tell you what, you do a meditation in nature and every single time there is some animal that will then make itself known to me. And I just love it. Oh my gosh, one time I sat down at a pond and I was on a bench. It was a little park. And if you weren't in the present moment, you wouldn't have seen it because it was so little. And I looked down and there is this grasshopper. I am not kidding. A little grasshopper that is sitting right behind a blade of grass, peeking out at me, watching me. And I started to talk to it because I talk to everything. And I'm talking to this wonderful little being. And then I said, okay, I'm going to do my meditation now. And it just kind of settled in. It waited. And when I left, now people had been walking behind me and the path was clear. So I get up to leave and I stand up and all these grasshoppers appear in my path. And as I'm walking, they're hopping. See, when you treat the moment as sacred and you are in that moment, number one, who could worry about anything at that point, really? And who cares about the dinner at that point, really? It is so precious. And it's like the world wants to open up to you because they say, wow, there's someone who's actually here in the present. It is wonderful. And if I'm making dinner and I have a ton of things, like I've got videos to do or I've got things to write right after the dinner, I don't even worry about it. I allow myself to just treat it sacred, to take in the aromas of what I'm cooking. And I allow myself to enjoy the process of the cooking and mixing things and transforming all these little ingredients into something magnificent, you hope, for the dinner table. Okay? Treating your moments sacred. And guess what, guys? You won't miss any valuable thinking time. I even schedule time to think. Yes. And that's another thing. And I have it on there. I am going to take this time to sit here and think about what I need to do, or I call it strategy, okay, to strategize. And I set up 15 minutes to an hour to do that at least once a week, sometimes a lot more. Depends where I am in my life. So when you do these things and you treat life sacredly, you'll find out there's going to be plenty of time for you to start to strategize, plan, but then you leave it and you allow yourself to evolve, to experience, which is why we're here, to allow ourselves to appreciate and to see things. I'm telling you, your family will thank you. Your friends will thank you. Anybody you know will thank you, because it will show up in every relationship you are in. So, like always, hey, leave a comment below. Maybe you have a wonderful exercise that worked for you to help to get rid of that mind-boggling way of being. And if you have any questions, please ask. I do look at all my comments and I do respond to you. I finally learned how to do that on some of the apps. Anyway, for all of you, just a little bit of soul wisdom, and to enjoy life and to feel that contentment and that peace is the very first start of starting to learn on that incredible spiritual journey you're on. And it's such a relief when you get it. I love you all. Namaste.